was misspelled. It's actually Bollander, and he had Bollard. It was my error because I'm supposed to fax material to him, which I didn't do so. I am registered on the ballot as a Democrat, but I was placed there for a reason by the press of Tucson. The press of Tucson chose me for the simple reason I have a spotless campaign, and I think everybody has a copy of this. So when I get to that very shortly, I'm going to run through something else first, and then I'll have a question period, which we all can actually work together on this. I've heard an awful lot about the Patriots. You're very strong, you're zestful, from Marshall to just everybody. You're fighters, which I like. You're strong and full of wisdom. Plus, you have the age factor here, which represents probably most of the American vote. I just finished a trip, 8,000 miles by car, 3 weeks. I left Tucson to St. Petersburg, Florida, to Miami, to New York, back to DC, and back to Tucson, 3 weeks. It was very interesting. The purpose was a trip by cars that are flying to interview and see the common man, the heartbeat of America. The heartbeat of America is that mechanic in Texas, is the oil worker, is the waitress, the waiter, to the rich guy, to the poor guy, everybody. So I interviewed roughly 50 to 100 people to find out what do we really need in America. And most of the people pointed out a very strong health care program, financial security in the Social Security, so they have retirement benefits for their children. And it's exactly what I have spelled out in this booklet. So it reinforced my urge or my campaign to provide excellent leadership this time around. But let's face it, I'm only registered in the state of Arizona, put by the press. This is a springboard for me for 4 more years. 4 years from now, I guarantee you I'll be on a major ticket. It may not be the Democratic Party. I was placed there on the Democratic Party. But I will succeed because I have your fire to make it. And the reason for the fire is this program. It's a blueprint to success. Hillary, Obama, the major politicians are only band-aid politicians. They don't have the answer to succeed. They'll raise taxes, they'll continue on, the deficits get bigger. They have no answers. Hillary, pull out of Iraq. Pull the soldiers out. That's asinine. When you pull soldiers out, they have to be employed. She has no program to employ 150,000 people. What are we going to do when we bring people from Iraq in? I have the answer. It's similar to the Roosevelt plan, the work program back, I think it was in the 40s, to employ people. My trip took me to areas where New York, the roads, I can employ 15 to 20,000 people for 3 or 4 years just repaving roads in New York. The roadways in America, some states are extremely poor. So I have designed programs with desalination plants to turn salt water to fresh water. In the past month or two, I was presented to the governor of Arizona to a plan to provide 20 square miles in Yuma to pump water from Mexico and create great amounts of fresh water. Of course, this would be electric too. It's a desalination plant. Marshall, I'll get to you on the question period, right at the end of this. And the governor's office told me, well, the budget's not done, maybe next time around we'll provide you in our budget. So I set that aside. So the commission didn't fail, but it was set aside. So I was elected with the local press because the campaign is excellent, to run for president. I don't expect to win, but I expect to put a big dent in this, and people will know me for the next time around. I'll run on a major ticket, and I will do good on the next time around. Right now, I have a problem with getting press. I'm an unknown. Throughout America, there's probably 50 to 100 unknowns. They don't get the press. New York shut its doors in my face because Hillary and Obama have it locked up. Why couldn't I get press time? Because they bought into the press. I didn't have any campaign money or for posters or anything, and I was set aside. In Tucson, my own party, the Democratic Party, I went over to present this marvelous plan. They shut the door in my face. They said, we don't take sides. I said, what's this? You have posters about Hillary and Obama. All I see in your office, Hillary and Obama. You don't take sides? And I felt, I had tears in my eyes. I'm a strong, strong man. I don't cry, rarely. And I had tears in my eyes, and I was shut out from my own party because they prefer Hillary or Obama. You know what? They're pushing Hillary in Tucson. So it kind of upset me. Now I'll give you, and is there any questions right now? Anybody would like to toss a question at me?
Yeah, I have one.
To the mic.
Maybe you can quote some rumors that I've heard about Hillary and her lesbian liaison. Is there anything you can comment on that for me?
That's a very sensitive question, and it's Clifford.
Yes.
Clifford, I would address that, and I'll over-amplify what you said. I would address that Hillary should be asked that question. And if it's so, she has these tendencies, as I think Webster says, a lesbian is a act between two female of the same sex. So if it is true, she should come out of the closet, because we've all been plagued with a sexual scandal with a husband who pulled us down into the toilet with sexual deviation. And we don't need another sexual scandal. If a sexual scandal did happen, if she was in office, we'd be the laughing stock of the world. We'd be pulled down by the wayside. So there is true. I suggest that she should come out of the closet, if it's so, and address the problem herself before it's too late, if she comes in office. Anybody else?
Yes. What is the purpose of government?
It is a trick question.
I've been through this arena or this topic many times. Government can be self-ruled, such as the American Indian, the Mideast, self-rule. It's a form of government where they have tribal members, council, but it's another form of government. Total freedom, but there's self-rule. In our case, government would be a power for the people, by the people, equal voice, to carry out various functions. Purpose of government is to organize functions so you wouldn't have total chaos in society.
Okay. I'm under the impression that, as stated in the Declaration of Independence, that the purpose of government is to protect our rights, God-given rights that did not come from the government. In terms of your programs, Mr. Ron Paul and Alan Keyes have talked about getting rid of the IRS. How do you plan to fund these programs?
I haven't really looked into that. I have some thought, and I will share my thought with you on that.
Well,
IRS, I think, is overloaded, can be very harmful in many cases, especially me. They'll come after you and take everything you got. A working man, you go down the tubes. So I sympathize with anybody who's been plagued by the IRS. How do we handle the IRS in the future? There's a system, an automatic deduction without IRS. You automatically take the deduction. It could be bad also, because some people could benefit with having IRS. So I kind of stay in the middle on that, and I need a little more research really to know.
well, my thoughts on the subject is get rid of them. And in terms of paying for everything, there's the CAREFOR funds, which would more than be able to pay for everything. The monies that are being collected are basically interest for someone else, private banks. And as far as the IRS is concerned,